こんばんは。フォーレックス TV ニューヨークのレミです。2月6日水曜日の為替レポートニューヨークレビューをお伝えします。6日のアメリカ株式相場は反落しました。ダウ工業株30週平均は前日比65ドル3セント安の 12,200 ドル10セントで終えた。ナスダック総合株価指数は 30.82 ポイント安の 2278.75 で終えた。前日の株式相場の終了でダウは370ドルと今年最大の下げ幅で取引を終えた。朝方発表された昨年10月から12月の労働生産性指数非農業部門が前期比年率 1.8% と上昇しました。また本日フィラデルフィア連銀のプロサー総裁がインフレの警戒を示し、株式相場は急速に続落しました。ニューヨーク外国為替市場で円相場は反発しました。株式相場が下げに転じて円買いが優勢となりました。明日7日にイングランド銀行、欧州中央銀行それぞれの政策会合が発表されます。ドル円は前日比30銭円高ドル安の106円45銭から55銭で取引を終えた。ユーロ円は前日比65銭円高ユーロ安の155円70銭から80銭で取引を終えた。それではバンクオフニューヨークメロンのマイクル・ウルフォークさんとのインタビューをご覧ください。
Well, the focus this week has been on central bank rate announcements as well as global economic data. We're starting to see slowing growth not only here in the U.S., but also abroad in the U.K. as well as the Eurozone. So first of all, if we could start out broadly, and if you could tell us whether or not you expect to see U.S. dollar strength against the euro and here, the U.K.
Well, with respect to central banks, we already had the RBA meeting in Australia earlier this week. The RBA raised interest rates 25 basis points. Tomorrow we have the Bank of England. They're expected to cut interest rates by 25 basis points. I think that that shouldn't be considered a done deal yet, however. There is a chance that they could wait for further incoming data before cutting again, perhaps at its next meeting. The ECB is not expected to change interest rates. There are some in the market who are holding out hopes that because of some weak data that we've seen recently out of the Eurozone that the ECB Trichet's press conference could signal perhaps potential for cutting rates in the future. There I would strike a note of caution because the ECB council members have been very consistent over the last month about this very point, that specifically Trichet has indicated he only has one needle on his compass, that being to deliver price stability in the medium term. He's concerned about upside risk to price stability. Axel Weber several weeks ago coming out and saying that market chatter about potential rate cuts from the ECB was, quote, wishful thinking. Garganis from Greece indicating that, again, upside risk to price stability is a grave concern of his. So I think, all told, if anything, they continue to signal concerns about inflation, whether it's money supply or wage inflation. Certainly, price inflation will remain and will prevent them from taking on a more dovish stance. Now, how does that affect the dollar? Well, the dollar is benefiting right now from a culling of the euro-long positions in the marketplace following the worse than expected non-farm payrolls result that we got on Friday. So we have something of a technical correction, taking profit on euro positions. The sterling is being hit for more fundamental reasons, probably being cut in the downdraft of foreign currencies against the U.S., but also is weakening in anticipation of the bank cutting interest rates tomorrow. And the euro, again, is really the anti-dollar. So given the fact that there is some risk in the marketplace right now, equities continuing to come under pressure, particularly overseas, that's good for the U.S. dollar in terms of the dollar getting a safe haven bid on risk aversion. So we're kind of flip-flopping from trading session to trading session whether or not we're risk tolerant or risk averse. right now, the flavor of the day is risk aversion, and it's benefiting the dollar. So we see some further dollar upside potential in the coming trading session, as long as the ECB and Bank of England deliver as expected.
Well, Michael, while we still have our focus on the central banks, I'd like to take a step back and talk about the RBA rate decision earlier this week.
Sure.
The RBA hiked by 25 basis points as widely expected to 7%.
Yep.
And on Monday, we also saw the Aussie dollar against the U.S. currency hit a high of 91. But following the rate decision, we haven't seen that kind of rally in the Aussie dollar. So if you could give us your forward-looking forecast for the Aussie dollar against the yen and the U.S. currency.
Well, Remy, certainly the reaction of the Aussie dollar earlier this week was in anticipation of the RBA's rate hike. In financial markets in general, certainly foreign exchange markets, there's this phenomenon of buying the rumor and then selling the facts. So I think in the lead up to a widely anticipated rate hike, they were buying the currency, and certainly gold prices, commodity prices remain elevated and are supportive of the currency. Now, why did it sell off? Why has it remained below 90 cents since the RBA rate hike? This is, again, I think there's a broader story here about U.S. dollar strength, but I think also that a lot of these commodity currencies are getting hit here over the last several trading sessions because of the risk aversion. You start to see that with the yen. The yen has gained against most of the majors, including the U.S. dollar, really the best performer in the league tables recently, because of this risk aversion. It creates a risk aversion. Not only does the dollar benefit, but the yen carry trades get cut back and benefiting the yen. So I would continue to see in that current scenario the yen continue to strengthen against the Aussie. We have the Aussie dollar expected to be in a range of about 88.5 cents to maybe 90.5 cents. It's a relatively broad range, but then again, volatility has become something commonplace since the August liquidity crisis.
以上、バンクオブニューヨークメロンのマイクル・ウルフォークさんとのインタビューでした。ForexTV ニューヨークのレミがお伝えしました。最新の為替情報については ForexTV ジャパンをご覧ください。